Welcome back to an episode. This week, we're going to be talking about automating comments. Have you been on social media, whether it's on Instagram, where people will do a post and they're like, comment the word lipstick, and I'll send you the link to to this lipstick that you saw in the video, right? And then automatically you get this message and it looks like it's coming from somebody and has a link. So that is an automation. There's many different providers out there. One of the most popular ones that they say, the pros say, doesn't affect your algorithm on social media. It's called ManyChat, ManyChat. And I actually do utilize it, not in everything. And today I just wanted to do an episode for you as my beauty pro, hairstylist, or bridal artist like myself on the reality of utilizing it. So last year in March, I promised myself, I don't want to do this, right? And I did a post and I said to comment a word and it went a little crazy, okay? The DMs were getting overwhelming and I'm like, okay, I'm going to need automation. So I'm going to share with you how it went, what I utilize it for, and also just like everything with marketing, when it gets overdone, people are very smart. And also like the other side to it, right? How has it impacted social media? How has it impacted how people do business and how people actually comment on things? And what I learned of my year of experimentation of asking people to comment certain things and ask me questions and different things, and how I actually get engagement on my post and just a real reframe. I know right now we're getting shoved down our throats. I don't know about you, but I am on my algorithm about email marketing. I have been email marketing for years. This is not new. And, as I told you, I took a class from my husband's business, but I just feel like it needs to come full circle on email marketing, and I couldn't do that without automation and talking about ManyChat. So with that, let's get started. So first of all, you set up on the back end, you pay for it. It's like $15 a month, and you set up a funnel or like a setup system, okay? So pretty much action steps. So when somebody comments the word lipstick, then it automatically will send the reply, and you can actually automate it where it says, hey love, or hey hun, like for me it'd be hun. Hey hun, here's the lipstick, that I used in that video. You can go ahead and order it there. Let me know if you have any other questions, right? And that's automatic. It's done. You can put the link on there. So anytime, even if it happens, as long as you have the system going, even if it happens, like in 6 months from today, it'll automatically take care of that for you. So that is awesome. Now, these are the repercussions of it too. Many people know that is going on, okay? I love automation, but as a service-based business, I think we have to be very mindful, right, of not overdoing it. My whole philosophy in life and in business, everything in excess is bad for you. Even water. Water is essential for our bodies. We're mostly made up of water, but even overdoing that can make you sick, right? So the same thing happens with automation. So first, let's talk about how helpful it has been. It has been amazing to grow my email list, but it is not what has grown my email list. Again, I'm going to say it again. So it has been awesome to grow as a tool in my email list bucket. It has not been what has grown my email list. So with emailing, I think it's so important if you're going to even use an automation like ManyChat, you need to use something that you're going to stick to. So I use Flowdesk. I will put in the show link. Like you can get some dollars off and save some money if you want to try it. I love it because it's pretty and it has pretty templates, okay? I literally just took another email marketing class, and this one was online, and it was more technical and more actual like number based. And these are people who actually do like marketing research, and I mean they even work with one of the political parties on fundraising and all this stuff. So no matter what we think about politics, their money is to raise millions of dollars. So they know what they're talking about. And it was so interesting even hearing with them. All this is connected, I promise. It was so interesting connecting with them and listening from that class is that we need simplicity, right? People want the connection, and also we have short like attention spans. It doesn't matter if you're super educated with a college degree or if you're a high school student like I am, graduate. Like, it don't matter, okay? We want to get to the point, and when we want something, want it fast. And if you need something from me, what do you need? And get off, okay? So with email marketing as well, we need something that's going to work for the long haul, okay? So ManyChat is amazing if you want automation. Like, if you get a lot of inquiries or the same questions over and over, that'll be an amazing tool for you. You want to start growing your email list and you have like a free checklist or guide or recipe that you want to share on there. That's awesome to do that. But with everything, be mindful, right? Don't overdo it. Even for me, because there's so much automation, this is the pros. Let's go into the pros of automation with email marketing, ManyChat, or even if you have whatever other, there's so many providers that do it, okay? The problem with it is that because so many people are doing it, I think we're also losing connection. Now, it's easier for me because I have under 4,000 followers versus somebody who has 300,000 followers, 1 million followers, right? Your DMs and how you interact with people is going to be different at what level you can interact. So I'm talking as myself as a smaller business. Okay, so that's the only thing. Like, you have to be very mindful on how not to lose the touch, right? So implement other ways to keep in contact with your community, because people who decide to follow you on social, are there to also, like, yes, we have the occasional looker, but also like people who want to do business with you. So don't forget to do like that human touch part of the business, okay? The positive things about it is that it can automate things, it can take things off your list, but also it has been so amazing for me now when somebody interacts with me. It feels more personable because I know they could have an automation, but also it always makes me worry, like, is it them interacting with me or is it like a automation, right? Because automation has gotten so good. Honestly, like the automation you can set up, it can sound like it's literally you responding. So that's the only thing I would say with like the cons of it. And with that, now let's go back into like email marketing, because this is going to be part 2 of the episode, right? So we just touched on ManyChat. You can find out more. You can Google more on all the techie and all these stuff and things. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying, let's be real, since everybody's talking about email marketing. We also need to talk about the complexity of email marketing. We are all getting emails nonstop every day. Like, I am one of those weirdos. I cannot see 500 or 1,000 emails in my inbox. I will unsubscribe. If I don't want to hear about it, you ain't not getting access to my inbox. Like, it's not happening. It's just who I am. Doesn't mean everybody's like this. Having said that, I see how many emails come a day. Even though I don't have that many subscribes to many newsletters, I really don't. So seeing how much things hit my inbox, I want you to start thinking about your client, okay? Our clients are getting constantly bombarded, not just on their inbox, also on social media, when you drive, at the schools, everywhere, right? Everything is email. So I actually live in a pretty techie, savvy school district, and we get literally like text messages that reminds us of fundraisers and, dine and donates and events going on at the school and sports and everything you can imagine. It comes through there, okay? And it's a lot. So my attention span, having 3 kids, I need things to be fast. And as much as I love appointments, like there's only certain businesses I'm willing to do appointments with. There's other businesses that I need to go that have to be drop-in appointments, okay? I'm just saying that as myself, okay? But we need to get outside of ourselves and outside of what everybody's doing and think about our clients. So my sister, and this is all coming back to email, I promise. Again, I want to give you examples because sometimes that's the best way that we learn is through examples. So my sister's planning her daughter's Sweet 15. It's going to be this August. And, of course, we have our makeup artist. I'm doing my niece's hair, but we're getting one of my hairstylist that works with me is doing our hair. So, yeah, we got all that situated. But I've been helping her to deal with photographers. She finally found the photographer that she wants, to deal with like vendors and, booking and the venue and everything. And I'm going to share this story. And this is just a I'm not going to go into names or where it's at. I'm just going to share. Sometimes we need to think about our clients, okay? So she wanted a certain venue, and we emailed, no response. Website, it's broken link. Always check your website links, okay? I break them too. So we couldn't get a hold of them, okay? So then we finally got through our friends. We got the phone number. We're like, oh, thank God. Now, I know you're probably at this point like, oh my gosh, why didn't she just go somewhere else? Because they were set on this certain venue. So then we finally get into there. I get the pricing. He calls me back. I'm like, okay, how can I do the deposit? Crickets. Like crickets, no action going on. I follow up 2 times, nothing in a 3-week span. Okay, so I gave time. I'm not crazy psycho either. Like I'm a wedding vendor. I understand. But the thing is that she really wanted this venue. So then she ends up trying, and she ends up getting booked and everything. And the experience was not the best. Honestly, I don't even know. I understand why she wanted the venue. Like, I get it. But it was a lot even for me to deal with. And she ended up being the patient one who dealt with it because she wanted it so bad that she was willing to go through all these damn loopholes to get the venue that she wanted. I am sharing that because it's such a beautiful example of 2 different clienteles, right? I'm the type of person, I'm also going to be planning my daughter's Sweet 15 coming up soon in a couple years. We literally are booking our venue 3 years in advance. Maybe you think I'm crazy, I understand. But if you have never heard of quinceañeras, so my husband, we're both of Latin Hispanic culture because, it's just how we're mixed. So my husband's Mexican, and in his culture, super important to have a Sweet 15. Like, that's a thing. Me growing up Guatemalan, and, my dad was from Guatemala. My mom is from Honduras, so the Central American. It's not as big, okay? Like, there's not as much money. It's not something like, there's less resources. Let's be real about it, okay? So it's not as big and as important as it is in the Mexican culture. And also then growing up with my grandpa, I did not have a Sweet 15. I got offered a Sweet 15 in our car, so Les took the car. I know the venue I want. I know what I want it to look like, to feel like, and most importantly, it's not about me. My daughter chose that venue, but that venue, I know the vendor. She's amazing. I know we're going to have no problems there, and it's going to be stunning and gorgeous and have all the things that I need, and it's going to be super easy to book. And I repeat that again, super easy to book, and it's not cheap either. But then we have my sister, which her venue was not cheap either, okay? Her venue was almost equivalent to the one I'm going to be getting. And it was a pain in the butt to book. And I'm sharing this with you because with email marketing, we need to make things really easy to book because most of the time people don't have time to be trying to figure out what you're trying to say. And in this class that I took just a couple of days ago about email marketing, they were sharing, they do studies, okay? They literally do like A and B testing, which means like you send some people this type of email, and then you send the second group a second type of email, and you see which one performs the best. You look at the numbers, okay? So when we do emails, look at your numbers. I want you to test this week if you actually do email marketing or even text marketing in your business. Send out a big, long text versus a short text. This was such a good exercise. I did this yesterday and my mind was blown. Which one is easier to understand and which one gets a point to cross to the point of what you're trying to say, right? Think about it when you email your best friend or when you email somebody that you talk to a lot every single day. Your emails are not long-ass paragraphs unless you're really mad. They're probably really short and to the point, right? Like, hey, what are you doing today? It's Friday. Want to go out to dinner? It's usually not like that. It's usually like, hey, what are you doing? Like straight to the point, right? And emails need to start communicating in a way that sounds like us and that it feels like our business and our aesthetic of what we're trying to do. Are you trying to educate me that day on a certain thing? Are you trying to entertain me that day? Are you trying to offer me a service? What do you want from me that day? With email marketing, we have to keep it, again, super simple, okay? Our audience and our clientele is more complex than ever. And what I mean by that, it's no longer, even with like the perfect example today, we're talking about ManyChat. you can no longer be like, oh yeah, I'm so clever. I have this automation. They'll never know. Nobody's going to know. Nope, they're going to know. They'll figure it out. And it's so important to let them know, like, hey, so here it is. Do you have any questions? Even with the automation, then you can stop it where people, if I actually respond to you, you can interact with them and have to keep the conversation going, right? Another thing, just with email marketing, keep it interesting, keep it short to the point, but, change it up, make it you. So I love using GIFs, okay, or GIFs, whatever you call it. They're funny. That's how I text my friends. That's how I text my sister, especially my super close best friends. I call them best friends because I don't think I have a lot of friends. I think I have more best friends. And that's okay. I'm cool with it. But GIFs is our love language, okay? So you're going to get a GIF. So I'm going to email you with GIFs too. I try not to overdo it, but sometimes I do. And it's just like part of having a conversation, just like you are. If I was going to walk into your door right now to get a service done from you, that's how your email marketing should feel. For the longest time, one of the biggest things that has kept me stuck, even with the DM automations, that I have to be like everybody else. And it's literally going back to basics with email marketing. If this is new for you, or you're like, okay, I'm resetting, like I've told you this year, I'm going back to basics and just taking different type of approach in my education, even not so much with the pro community, but more into the actual fact-based and data-driven based education is where I'm heading this year. Is keep it simple, make it sound like you. We're all humans trying to interact with each other. We're all humans trying to do business with each other, right? And both sides, just for us as vendors and also when we're clients and we're seeking services or products, it's so important that we remember there's a human on the other side. So if you're struggling with your email marketing, which honestly for me, it was the longest struggle. I've been super honest and upfront in this podcast that I've made mistakes. I share with you the mistakes. I share with you how I fix it. It's so important that you remember, it's a human to human interaction, okay? We're two humans talking to each other, right? So how would you talk to me? So just keep it super simple. I think it's going to be your best friend with email marketing. It's like, okay, I'm talking to a friend. How would I really talk to my friend or really share this message quickly when I know she has the baby in the background or she has running out of the door to go to work, right? I think that's the best scenario to help you with writing emails, keeping them really short and sweet. And the less words, the better, okay? This was from data-driven education and class that I took. The less words is better to get your point across. Doesn't mean super shorten it, right? But, just get to the point. What do you need from them? And lastly, to end this episode today, with just in regards to also to email marketing, I really want to emphasize this, okay? Just like I started the episode sharing with you about ManyChat because I wanted to bring this whole thing full circle, okay? You don't have to do all the things. We need to all start making data-based decisions of what's actually bringing in the money to our business, okay? Just like I took that amazing, that awesome, email marketing class for my husband's business, my husband and I came to a realization of what his business is actually needing, which had nothing to do with email marketing. That was the side distraction. And that came across, looking at the numbers and the data and, where's the bucket leaking, right? So we all have leaky buckets in our business, no matter how good or how much money we make, there's always something that we can do better, right? And sometimes we get so caught up with oh, I need a new logo, or, for him, oh, I need my new shirts, Celeste, And I'm like, okay, I understand you want your new shirts. That's cool. Yes, you have to look good for your clients and everything and on brand now and stop wearing other businesses' hats. But really, where is the leaky bucket, right? Where are we missing that piece that you need to be making better, clear connection? And where can you get better? And we found it, and so we're fixing it. I want you, before you jump on to oh, great, I have to do another thing. I have to sign up for email marketing, or I have to do this ManyChat thing. Start simple with what you have. I am a solopreneur like you, in the sense that I don't have people running my website. If you go look at my website, all that stuff is me. all those edits that I do, like all the things, the layouts, all those things are literally me. And I know I misspell things like crazy. I know that. And honestly, probably if I went to a doctor that would tell me I know something's up in my brain, but you know what? We don't want to hear about it. I don't want to label myself. I'm just going to keep misspelling my life. Yes, I tried to spell check, but things happen. I'm allowing myself to be human, okay? And I want you to allow yourself to be human. Like, is it really, you don't have to do all the things. Use what you have, okay? For the longest time, like I had a booking system. I no longer have Gloss Genius. I quit that because it wasn't useful for me anymore. But when I had them, like they had an automated system. Was it clear? Did it give you data and numbers? No, but you know what? It made me stay consistent and in touch with my clients. So that was important, and that's what I needed it to do. It also had like text marketing in it, and I could send a quick little text, a quick little tip for that month and send it off. Or for, I remember when I started, it was like once every 6 months. That I was marketing to them. And is that good? No, but that's how I started. I'm being real, going back to Celeste 7 years ago, okay? And sometimes we get so caught up in seeing like what's everybody doing. Maybe you go check out my website and you're like, holy crap, because I've heard from other people, your website's beautiful. I'm like, yeah, but I wish you could see all the messes of websites and all the messes I've had and where I started to where I'm at today. Like it's been 8 years, right, of growth and messing up and misspelling and trying things that didn't work for others. And part of going back to basics this year, yes, email marketing is important. It's super helpful. It can really help you to stay connected with the ones that you need to reach, right? So if you have just your beauty services for a certain service, you can contact them directly versus the ones that get coaching from you, which is a separate group, right? You have different buckets that you can contact whenever you need to, which is amazing when you have an email system or texting system that allows you to do that. But we all start from square one. So don't let overanalyzing. Don't let, oh my gosh, I need to look into pricing and figure out which system I need to use. Start with what you have. Honest, if you really want one, like I love Flowdesk. All my emails come from Flowdesk and they're getting better and better with time. So I hope that this was super helpful for you. Thank you so much. I apologize. I know I was going to do a different episode this week, but literally we're having technical difficulties. And instead of just fighting it and not giving you an episode, we pivoted. So let's learn to pivot with our business. Let's have fun. And I'll see you back here next week. Bye, love.